Guys, now we're gonna go ahead and do what to check for after a ride, post ride, and you can even do pre-trip as well. See what to look for when you're about to go riding, or if you just got done riding, you're about to put your buggy up after washing it. So first things first, we'll check while we're up top, brake fluid. This is a 2020 Can-Am Maverick X3. Check the brake reservoirs. That one's good. That one's good. They're both within range, within spec. So that's good. Caps are still tight. None of your fuses or wires came loose, so that's good there. Go ahead and pop that bad boy back on. Next thing to check, make sure all your suspension and steering components are good. Shock mount's good. Double check your axle. You want to grab your axle, you want to twist it and rock it. Make sure there ain't no play in it. This axle's nice and tight. Ball joints look good, upper and lower. Your brake hose isn't kinked, leaking anything, so that's good. All right, move on down to the tie rods. Tie rod is tight, no play in it. Everything looks good there. Do the same thing on the other side. All right, now you want to check your radiator. Make sure there ain't nothing gashing it. This thing needs cleaned out. So what you do when you get done with your post ride, when you get done riding, pop your top off, take your hose to it, and clean these fins out, because that's what lets the air pass and cools down your radiator coils. All right, moving on. We said check the other side as well. We're just gonna do a quick one. Make sure all your doors are tight, everything's tight, nothing's loose. Sway bar links and all that stuff look good. Same thing, shocks good, suspension's tight. You ain't got no big old gouges in your trailing arms. Check, make sure your radius rods are tight, nothing's bent, nothing's broke. Check your axles, nothing's broke or loose there, so everything's nice and tight. All your brake hoses and stuff are good. Yeah, that's good for the back. Now we'll go ahead, pop this cover off, and this will be your coolant check. I mean, every buggy's different, but we're doing pretty much the same concept, the same principle here. Okay? So we're gonna do the same concept, same principle. We're gonna check, make sure it's cold. We just got done running this, so you're checking it. It's right in between the minimum of cold. So it could probably use a little bit. So before we go riding again, we're gonna grab another gallon and top it off. Now you wanna check, make sure, oh, one other thing I forgot to check, which ain't no big deal, we can check it now, is you wanna check your tire pressures. Pull your pressure gauge out, check your tire pressures, check, make sure all your bead lock bolts are still there, your lug nuts are still tight, everything's good there. You're not missing your center cap, and if you are, make sure your axle nut's pretty good still. Okay. Guys, one more thing we forgot to do is every now and again, check your wheel bearings, make sure they're greased up. We got a video on the channel. If you want to learn how to do that, check it out. It's pretty simple. Go ahead and check that video out. Periodically, you want to check your front and rear differential. We'll do a video when it's time to change this on how to do that as well. But for now, we'll just let it be. Moving on back to the back. You're going to go ahead, walk around, make sure everything is good again. You want to check your oil. And to do so with the X3, it's kind of a pain in the butt. You can kind of see it. I'm going to grab the flashlight just to show you guys on video. There's your oil dipstick. Pull it out, check it, make sure it's within spec. It's not that bad to get to once you find it. It took me a few minutes to find it. Another good thing to do is get a hose funnel to fill up your oil when you're changing it. It's a lot less messy. You can fill it up through one of these holes from the top, run it down in there, and fill up your oil. Just got to remember what your capacities are and stuff. So next up, we're going to show you guys how to inspect the belt on the Can-Am Maverick X3, and then pretty much all your other belts as well. But before we do that, we're going to jump into the air box. You got a bunch of these little pins and clasps and stuff that you got to pop off. We got most of them popped because save time with the video. Go ahead and pull it out. Try not to stir up as much dust as you can. You can see kind of clean, but up in there you got all kinds of stuff. So what you want to do is pop this out. Like I said, try not to stir up too much dust, and it helps when you got a clean buggy. And yeah, you can see that. I mean, it's not super bad, but it's not super clean either. So what we'll do to maintain this filter a little bit is we'll go ahead and blow this out with an air compressor, and then let it set for a little while, let everything settle, then blow it out again. And then we'll take a rag, a damp rag, and wipe down all the dust and stuff in there so it don't get sucked up in our engine. Some people blow them boxes out, but I'd rather just wipe it down with a rag. So there's that, and now we're going to show you guys how to do the belt. Hold on one second. Show you guys how to check the belt. We went ahead and popped off at all the screws, and you got a bunch of these little bolts. They're easy to take off. Take them off. It's an 8mm socket. Just throw that on there, pop them all off, put them in a bin so you don't lose them. Pop your belt. That's a 7mm. George just helped me out here. He's giving me some cliff notes. Hi, George. All right, so here we go. Go ahead and pop it off. Man, don't you all wish it was all that easy? I'm gonna try and do it with one hand, but I don't think it's gonna work. Yeah, maybe it will. George, you're gonna be here to help me. We're stuck on the thing on the front primary. There we go. I knew I brought George along for some reason. This thing's kicking our butt, boys. But we will win. There you go. Drop it out the bottom. Who would have thought? Now what you want to do is check that out. See all the dust and stuff in there. Make sure there ain't no like gouges of any like rubber or anything. And then there's your drain hole. If you was to go through like a big old water and basically submerge up to here on your belt, on your buggy, and you feel your belt slipping or hear it slipping, go ahead and pop that drain hole and let all the water out of your belt casing. And then yeah, everything looks good there. You want to blow that out with like a compressed air compressor, whatever. I'm not going to turn it on because it's so loud, but you guys get the idea. Blow it out. And then check it out down here. Now that we got going on, so you got a bunch of dust that we just dropped down on it, but for the most part, I don't see no like rubber shavings or anything from your belt. Everything still looks kind of new and tight. It ain't got very many miles, but everything's rolling good. It's got good grip, good surface. I don't see no like gouges in the belt anywhere or no frays or anything. So that's it looks pretty good. All right, so that's that. You just wipe everything down, spray it all out with compressed air and stuff, and put it all back together. One little factoid we just found out. Thought it was pretty cool. When you're checking your air filter, there's a back clip that's kind of a pain in the butt to get on and off. Pull your seat all the way up. Pop this little rubber grommet off. There's the clip right there. Huh, who would have thought? Pro tip from the Trail Dogs. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Got any questions or tips to add to the maintenance and pre-trip, post-trip, whatever, leave a comment, let us know what you think. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And Trail Dogs appreciate y'all watching. See you on the next one. Thanks.